Okay, good morning, everyone. I welcome you to this wonderful session. This is the mentor Hampir Kliman. Today we shall be looking at this particular question where we are asked to write the three inequalities that define the unshaded region. I'm going to simplify this lesson so that you will be able to get almost everything in every question that you are going to meet in your exam. And of course, if you are new, consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and don't forget to share. Now, the question is saying, write three inequalities that define the unshaded region. How exactly do you go about this? So, the first thing that you are supposed to do is simply to acknowledge the simplest line or demarcation so that you form the equation. So, in this case, the simplest line is this one. So, I can name this one as my 1. And it is cutting at -2. So, my first equation is going to be y is equal to -2. Now, since it is going downward, they are shading downward, you need to write the opposite, okay? That's the concept, write the opposite. So, because it's going downward in the negative section, in your equation, you're going to say y is going to be greater. Now, because it's a solid line is going to look like this, okay? And then a line which is not solid or dotted line is going to look like this. So whenever you have a solid line, it can either be less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. When you have a dotted line, it can either be less than or greater than. So because it's a solid line and it is going downward, we have to do the opposite. So it's going to be greater than or equal to 2. And that becomes your first equation. We go to the second one. The second one is passing at 2, 0 and 0, 5. So we are going to get those coordinates. So we're going to have 2, 0. So this is 2, 0. And then the other one is going to be 0, 5. So this is going to be x1, y1, x2, y2. Then we find our gradient. So our gradient is going to be m1 is equal to, this is going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. From there, we now find our gradient. So this is going to be, what is y2? Y2 is a 5 minus, what is y1? Y1 is a 0 over, what is x2? X2 is a 0 minus, what is x1? X1 is a 2. Then your gradient is going to equal to minus 5 over 2. So now let's find our equation. We know that our equation is going to be y minus y1 is equal to m, then x minus x1. So what was our y1? Our y1 was 0 is equal to, our gradient was -5 over 2, open bracket, then x minus, what is our x1? Our x1 is 2. So from here, this is going to be y is equal to -5 over 2. This is going to be x plus, so this is going to be, this 2 and that one will cancel. So this is going to be +5. Now, we want to determine, are we going to shade greater than or equal to, less than or equal to? So let's first of all check. It's a solid line. So this is a solid line, right? Then because they are shading towards the greater part, okay? This is the greater part. So you're using a compass. This part is in the x-axis. This part is in the y-axis. So this part is the positive side of the x. This is the negative side of x. This is the negative side of y. This is the positive side of y. Now, they are shading this particular side, which is the positive side of x. So you need to say the opposite. So it's going to be y less than or equal to -5 over 2 x plus 5. This is your second equation. We go to the third one. So the third one, let me rub my board. The third one, they're actually saying, okay, let me just leave the third one as your homework. I want you to find the third one. Your points are -1, 0 and 0, 2. Let's see what you are going to find. If you find this video interesting and helpful, I want you to send the work to 0777 66 40 46. For the sake of engagement, I want to engage you so that we see how best you are going to find these answers. So this was the second equation, okay? And of course, to those of you that are outside country, it's a +2, 6, okay? So I want you to submit the last equation, and I want to see how you are going to write it. Thank you.